Good morning. Uh, this is Thursday, so it's about 9:45 a.m. And so, what are the markets doing? Okay, so yesterday was a big day. I think we talked about this, the market, what it would do, the possibilities, and sure enough, the market went up. It poked up, and then it just came right down, really big in the last hour. And the market this morning actually it opened up and it kept climbing and climbing, and I just thought it's so early in the day, where else is it going to go? It's got to turn around and come back down. And I wonder if this is going to be a repeat of yesterday, where at the end of the day it just starts collapsing. Well, it's already happening now. Now I'm not sure how far this go is going to go, but really be cool if the Russell, this is a Russell right here, actually broke the line and made a new low. And that to me would be an indication that these will start to follow, because the NASDAQ clearly is not doing that. It's just struggling to get up there and stay up there. And if you remember, that's what the Dow was doing, you know, a month ago, a couple months ago, where it would just not, it would come up and it just stay in this area while the other ones are kind of struggling to get up there. And so this was kind of leading, it led the way up and it stayed there, but now it broke down and it's down this area. Now it's going to start coming down. ES same as the NASDAQ, but not as far. It didn't come all the way up here, and now it's starting to break down. So Russell, always looking at the Russell, because if this starts to come down and breaks this line, eventually these are all going to follow, because the Russell's been leading the way since probably October and November of 2021. So a little over a year. It's been pretty much leading the way. So what does this mean for you? As a swing trader, you bought your positions, your put options, and you're just going to write it down. And hopefully you bought them out far enough, at least a month or two. And then when the market comes down, then you can cash out. So here's the thing. If you bought them, let's say a month out, and then it's only getting close to maybe 2 weeks, you can always sell them and turn them around. And sure, you're going to probably take a little loss, but that's okay, because if it starts getting really close to expiration, you don't want to take a big loss, because these markets can take a while to get to where they need to go. So that's another strategy I use. I always, in fact, if you've been watching my videos, you've noticed that's what I've been doing. When I bought put options here and they came down here, I actually sold them and exchanged them for later months. I think it was April at that time. And then the market comes up here, so obviously it took a while. And then you can switch them over to May. You can just keep rolling them over. But you want to roll them over early enough. I wouldn't wait more than 2 weeks, at maximum, and then you just start rolling them over. You can always get back in the markets. Okay, so here's the spiders. I trade, it's an ETF. I trade my options on the spiders. This is what I use. So as you can see yesterday, the market did poke up here like we talked about. There's going to be a Fed meeting, and the market came up right after the meeting, and it just poked up. And I had mentioned that too, because sometimes the market will poke up, come down, or if this is a bull market, it pokes down and goes up. Actually, I'll show you a chart here. All right, here's a daily chart of the spiders. So I remember this clearly because back then, this was in October, the market had come down, and when it hit around here, I had bought some call options. I actually bought a pretty big position because I thought, this market's just going to keep hitting, and eventually it's going to go up. It was about time that it retraced, and at least that's how I felt. So I bought quite a few call options here. Now, there's a Fed meeting that came out, and I remember this. I think it was about inflation, and the market just took off straight down. And I was kind of worried because I was thinking, well, let's see what's going to happen. But then from my experience, I know that whatever goes down comes back up. The only thing is, this came way down, more than these spikes, you know? I mean, it was pretty excessive. And I had my finger on the trigger, ready to sell out at a pretty sizable loss. But then it started turning around really fast. You know, so it just pretty much moved up and down. I think it actually opened up down here, and then it just started moving around, and then eventually it came and it finished right here. So I almost sold because that was a pretty big hit right there, and I was down quite a bit. And then when it came up here and it came back down here, I bought some more call options and then rode this thing up. I think I sold them all in here. But that was a little bit scary right there. And so yesterday, and that's what happens, you know, you get these spikes like that, and that can scare a lot of people. All right, so for day traders, this is what happened. You know, the market did do exactly what it normally does. And then it figures out after like maybe an hour, you know, which direction to go. And then finally it hits, it comes back up, it retraces, just like we said. Markets always retrace. From here to here, came up at least 50%. Came down here, and that's where it finished, right there. And then, of course, today it came back up, and I think there's another retracement, and I feel like it's on its way back down. We'll see what happens today. As far as day trading, I didn't day trade today. I just didn't see anything here. Now, there's a possible day trade. It's almost 10 o'clock, so he still has several hours of trading. You could actually have gotten in, you know, having that information that we still have a couple hours of trading. And the market, you think, at least that's what I thought, that the market was only going to come up so high and then start coming down. This could have been a good day trade here. Possibly got in here and here, and then put your stop somewhere in here or right above here, right above this line. And then just ride this thing down. It's almost midday, and I feel like this market is now going to start heading down. So this could be a good day trade here. And like I said, the reason for that is because I feel like it's at its top. And I know people say you can't find a top and bottom, but that's how I trade. You have to find a top. Even if you think it's a top or the bottom, you still have to find it. Because how else are you going to trade? And so anyway, so this is the top for me for the day, midday. Usually midday, the market starts turning around. So we might have the same scenario as yesterday, where the market went up, it stayed there for a while, came down, and in the last couple minutes it just broke down. So you can write this down. If this does go down, you can write it down as far as you want. I would keep moving my stop down, so you don't want to lose any of your profits. Now, these are options that I trade, so I put mental stops in. I don't put any hard stops. These are all mental stops. And you have to be pretty diligent about your stops. You don't want to lose everything. And if you do, you don't want to take a loss. And if you do take a loss, it's got to be small. But I mean, it's not really the way to trade. You know, this is really a tough one. I've even looked at some videos and see how other people are trading, just to get an idea of what they're doing. Of course, I already know what I'm doing, but nobody really knows when to get out. It's never been really anything that's been definitive. You know, people have their own ideas of when to get out. This is just something that you're going to have to figure out on your own. When to get out, how much profit you're going to take. But again, I look at different time frames. Even if this is a day trade, I'm still going to look at the 4-hour chart and tell myself, yeah, I think that's the top. You know, it doesn't feel like we're in this bear market and this is going down. I feel like that's a top. We're on our way down. So I feel like there's a lot of momentum pushing down. At least that's what I feel. And so that would be a good trade for me. Okay, it looks like I paused this thing at the wrong time, so I'm not sure. I think I was on pause when I was making this video, so let me go back to the 5-minute chart and repeat what I just said. So sorry if I'm repeating myself, as I'm not sure if I was recording it. But basically this market, I feel, is on its way down. If you buy options that are pretty far out, you can trade them. You can trade either a day trade or even a swing trade, because it's the same option. Like I said before, they both gain the same value. So the only thing is the options that you buy further out, they're you can use that for a swing trade in case you decide to swing trade instead of a day trade, and you want to switch back and forth. You can do that, and then you can day trade it. Of course, if you sell it tomorrow, it's not a day trade, but at least you have that option. Where if you just buy the option today, and it expires in 1 or 2 days, you're gonna have to sell it. If you buy it further out, you can hang on to it if you want and turn it into a swing trade. Okay, so here we are in this 4-hour chart, and like I said, I'm not sure what this market's going to do today as far as is it going to play the same action that it did yesterday and just towards the end of the day just start taking off and make new lows. I don't know, but like I said, I am watching the Russell, which is that, and Russell continues to go down. So it's starting to break down. Like I said, if you're a long-term swing trader here, you're in for, let's say, a couple weeks or a couple months, let's say a couple months, you're not really worried about all this. You're just kind of sitting here, you're at the beach or something, and you're just waiting for this thing to just keep breaking down. And that's what you're doing. So I'm talking to swing traders that are possibly in for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, or day traders that are in for that day. And so they're the ones that are kind of looking at these ups and downs here. And as you get better in trading, you can start trading these ups and downs. You start day trading them, or you can swing trade them. And also, like I said, you can combine them. You can go in for a day trade, but make sure you buy them far enough out, let's say a month or several weeks, to where it can be possibly a swing trade. Then you've got that option. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's what the market's doing. Like I said, I'm following the Russell, and it feels like to me that that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to probably break a new low, and then Friday it might continue down. So let's see if that happens. I do have a couple options that are going to expire within 2 weeks, so I have to decide really fast this week, definitely this week, that I am going to sell them, but at what point we're at. Okay, that's it for today. Making more videos on different scenarios in the market, and also on some of my trading rules that I have. So stay tuned for those. And if you have any comments on, if you don't understand this, I have 24 years experience in trading, but I have like maybe, I don't know, 4 months since I've been doing this in teaching. So I'm still a new teacher. So if I'm not explaining this right, let me know if you need some clarity. Okay, that's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.